Dogs ready to fly, Brazilian bulls got the whole ring looking surprised. Help before hype, work before fame. Every generation elevating the name. When we hit the gates, everybody turns. Respect ain't given, respect is earned.
Green and gold in the air tonight. Every step since we came to fight. Not just dogs, this is legacy. Watch the world remember me. ABKC,
Lights go up,
IBC,
cups go up.
Texas raised, Brazilian pride. Samba candles on the worldwide ride. Hands up, heads turned. Every title had to burn. We don't talk, we let them see. History walking on a lead with me.
Yeah, different blueprint, different vision. Years of sacrifice built this position. No
Can you guys hear
shortcuts,
me?
no lucky breaks.
Yeah.
Only long nights and high stakes. From Brazil roots to American rings, every win makes the anthem sing. Pressure builds diamonds, that's our code. Every generation overloads. Hear the crowd when we step inside. Brazilian bulls, worldwide, one team, one flag, one mission.
Hi guys, welcome back to Samba Kennels Thursday Nights Live. We're here today with a very special guest. We have Stacey from AmericanBullyMOB. For me, one of the most special people in the XL community because he knows dogs. He's seen many dogs. He has a passion for these dogs that it's amazing. I've known him for 5 years now, and I have a pleasure to have him here. And I want to give you guys another 30 seconds before we ask him to introduce himself and video, and because I am trying to connect our Instagram and it's not going, so just hang in there with me, okay? And in the meantime, listen to our anthem, the hip hop of samba.
Got the whole ring looking surprised. Help before hype, work before fame. Every generation elevating the name. When we hit the gates, everybody turns. Respect ain't given, respect is earned.
Green and gold in the air tonight. Every step since we came to fight. Not just dogs, this is legacy. Watch the world remember me. ABKC,
Lights go up,
IBC,
cups go up.
Texas raised, Brazilian pride. Samba candles on the worldwide ride. Hands up, heads turned. Every title had to burn. We don't talk, we let them see. History walking on a lead with me.
Yeah, different blueprint, different vision. Years of sacrifice built this position. No shortcuts, no lucky breaks. Only long nights and high stakes. From Brazil roots.
We're not
to
live
American
yet
rings, every
on
win
Instagram.
makes the anthem sing. Pressure builds diamonds, that's our code. Every generation overloads. Hear the crowd when we step inside. Brazilian bulls, worldwide, one team, one flag, one mission. No looking back.
Okay. You like that song, Mob? Hey, I can't hear you.
Sorry
There
about
you
that.
go.
I said I like it. I like it. I need to get me a theme song.
Yeah, that
That's
kind of
pretty cool.
reminds me a little bit of the 90s, the hip hop culture,
Absolutely.
you know, the GTA, and I love it. The West Coast, I love it. So tonight we are so happy that you're here with us. Thank you for accepting my
Man, thank you
invitation.
guys for having me. Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. I am just gonna try to go live on Instagram because I don't know why it is not working. And just a second. Maybe it's another page that I have to go to. Give me 1 second, guys. Everyone that's watching us on YouTube and Facebook, thank you so much for joining us. Today is a great night for us to talk about XL's Brazilian Bulls after a couple of weeks of so much controversy. Tonight, we're going to have somebody that I really respect from the XL world, and we're going to chit-chat a little bit. We're going to talk about his project, his vision, and his experience in this beautiful XL world that can be a little A little spicy sometimes, but it's part of the game, and I'm ready. Let's go.
Absolutely.
Vito, good evening. How are you?
Good, good.
That's good. I'm almost there. I think that my computer is acting up a little bit. I really want to go on live on. Just give me 1 second, you guys. I don't have a technology team here to help me, so I have to do everything on my own, and I usually screw it up. So we are missing Lauren. Lauren's supposed to be on the live in a little bit, and Didi and Tony also, our partners, and Red River, Samba Red River, Tony and Didi, and Samba South, Lauren and Ryan. They are supposed to be here in a little bit, but we wait for that. In the meantime, I want to say welcome again, Stacey. And you are in Atlanta, right?
Yes.
Yes. You told me that the weather is really nice today there.
Yeah, well, I spoke too soon. A thunderstorm just started.
Oh,
Yeah, I
that's
fed
okay.
the dogs right in the nick of time.
Mob, how are you doing? What have you been doing? How many dogs do you have right now? Explain to us a little bit who you are, how long you've been breeding these dogs, what brought you to the XLs. Give me a little bit of your story. I want to hear it.
Okay, no problem. All right, so my name is Stacey Lewis. I'm a native here of Atlanta, Georgia. I started American Bully Mob, formerly known as Atlanta Bully Mob, and a moniker we still use. About Man, it's been a little over a decade now since we've been professionally at dog breeding. We currently house about 20 dogs, all XL American Bullies or all XL American Bully bloodlines. Obviously, there's going to be a variation in heights with that. I grew up here in Atlanta, Georgia. I grew up in a house. I'm a second generation dog breeder. I grew
Mm-hmm.
up in a house where we had 30 dogs in the backyard. American Pit Bull Terriers, German Rottweilers, and as a child, since I knew how to walk, my job was to feed and water dogs. I've been whelping puppies since I could walk. So I was born a dog man. I was born in a house with a dog man, and it's a habit that's stuck. Um, Initially, when I first came of age to where I could have my own dogs, I obviously stuck to what I knew on American Pit Bull Terriers. And we call them bulldogs. Uh, and so I had those. And around the time, I believe, right after college, uh, a cousin of mine who played in the NFL, he had got an American Bully, a XL from Top Dog Bullies. And when I first saw those dogs, I just fell in love. I started looking at the RBGs and King Lions and uh, Arnold the Terminators, Iron Cross Kennels, Orange County Pit Bulls, Riverside Pit Bulls. Like I was just a complete fan of the breed, and when I was willing and able to afford an American Bully, I started over and I started with the XLs and I haven't looked back since. I said my when I initially got into this breed, we there wasn't really an American Bully per se. People didn't call them that. They were called XXL pit bulls. We bred for, in my opinion, a different style of dog than what we consider the XL American Bully. So over the years, I would say in the last 6 years, I have changed my breeding habits more to fit what the standard for the XL American Bully is, more so than the XXL Pit Bull styles we've seen from kennels that I looked up to over the years, the Genghis Khans, the
Mm-hmm.
Blue Line kennels, the Dub Line kennels, the even Bossy kennels when they first started, Top Dog Bullies. The list goes on. All of those who started this breed and came before me, I followed in those footsteps, and now that we actually have a definitive a definitive breed type and what this dog should look like. And since I do actually show dogs, that's more so what I move towards. But I still like the original look of the XXL pit bull. So you will see dogs coming out of my program that tend to favor that side more than the more blockier style American bully. Does it hurt me in the ring a little bit? I'm sure it does. But that's what I like, and that's what initially drew me to the Brazilian bulls when I first started seeing them import. Is like, man, they really remind me of those old Camelot dogs and those dogs that were the beginning of the American bully, and so I kind of was more drawn to them. Um,
So, and I've known you for 5 years at least since I
mhm.
started this, and I remember that in the beginning we used to participate. Some people here probably remember there used to be the realest lives, and the every there was also the what was the guy name that had the little fire bully church. Remember that?
Mhm. Yep, yep,
Um,
yep.
it was
Absolutely.
like 2 or 3 lives every. There's another kid from the standards that I don't see him anymore. And and I remember you always. Are you there, Mob? You disappeared. You're
Yep, I'm here. Yep, I'm
okay.
here.
I remember you've always defended that you like this style of dogs. I remember that. And do you think that maybe that vision or what the Brazilian bull was, I don't say is, because we have twisted the direction a little bit from 10 years ago, but when the pit monsters, the beginning of the Brazilian bulls, when they were called pit monsters, that they didn't have the insertions
Come
of the American bulldogs.
on, it's
they
up.
ki- they kind of reflected that description that you just.
Yep, absolutely. It's hot.
So probably we're talking about the same type of dog that was the initial of the pit monsters, meaning the direction 20 years ago of the XLs, 20, 30 years ago, the direction of the XLs or the XXL pits and and the pit monsters was starting there. I believe that the concept of the breed was about the same, correct?
Yep, absolutely.
So yeah, and now we see that, like, I just wanted to have an idea that the separation happened about 15 years and on 15 to 10 years for the Brazilian bulls. When do you think that the style started changing in the XLs from that to what it is now?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked me that question because this is literally, I just had this conversation with another kennel that I really respect, and that's Felix over at Top Notch Bullies, who's somebody who's been around for 15 plus years with the XLs as well, and
Shout out
the
to Felix. Shout out
yeah.
to Felix. I was with him in at Cinco de Mayo. We were
Oh
at
yeah,
Cat's house.
you were with Felix at Cinco.
Yes, shout
So
out to him.
so me and Felix both, and it's something we agree on, is that the XL in itself, everyone knows that the American Bully started off with XLs. XL standardish, but mainly XLs really put the American Bully as a breed on the map, and that's what we started with. And they shrunk the dogs down. I think the thing that happened that threw the XLs off, and this is what actually I think was the deviation from the Brazilian bulls as well. When you guys took those dogs and in Brazil and started breeding them the way you wanted to, the XLs, in my opinion, we did a lot of size chasing about 10 years ago, and then the tries and the colors started coming, so people chased that over breed type, and then we started breeding in the Merles, and that affected the breed type. And we really set ourselves as XL breeders, we set ourselves back a decade by breeding in the wrong dogs for the wrong reasons. And a lot of the kennels in the forefront are the ones, in my opinion, I don't blame them for it, but they are the ones to blame for the color chasing and stuff like that because people had to follow their lead, right? People
Yeah.
bred to dogs that honestly shouldn't have been bred to because they were chocolate tries, because they were merles, and so on and so forth. Right.
Right.
So I think that now that XFL people are going to shows more and are uh, breeding to the standard of the XL of the American Bully, because the standard is the same no matter the height deviation. Once people started realizing what that was and breeding that style of dog, I think it put us in a better position and a better light, if that makes sense.
100%. Yeah, I agree with you. And one, I think the main, if you know, the main
Hey,
twist, the main twist was probably the um the search for size, bone, and height. Um, in my opinion, more than color, because initially it was the size that they were chasing.
yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, so I think a lot of the and people always talk about the crosses that it takes to make a certain breed, and I'm a historian. I'm a fancier of breeding in general, so I study a lot of other breeds in order to learn how to breed. And I studied German Shepherds. I've studied Cocker Spaniel breeders. The list goes on. And one thing I will say, when you creating a breed, it's necessary to open your stud books up sometimes to introduce new stuff and to use other breeds to better your breed. You want more breed type as American Bully breeders. A lot of us use a lot of heavy bulldog influenced dogs, the same as the Brazilian bull, right? Um, and some people don't like that, but those same people that don't like it, their kennels benefit greatly from using dogs that somebody did that dirty work for them already, if that makes sense. So,
Yeah. Yeah, and you said something very important. If you're going to open the blood, especially when we are living a moment of the formation of the breed, and mind you, for me, all these breeds are still very young,
absolutely.
and I don't agree that the stud books should be closed yet for the XLs, because of that process. If we didn't have them so all over the place in the last, I don't know, 10 years, that phase that people were searching for color and for size,
Yep.
that was a step back a few years in the progress of purity. That's what I mean.
Hmm.
And if you are going to open the blood to better the breed, uh, what I understand for bettering the breed is moving it towards the breed standard. And they were walking away from the breed standard and also moving towards better health, health
Yes.
tested individuals. So um, I see that what I can compare to you that happened in Brazil was everybody differently than here. Most people, the vision of the breeders in Brazil, and I've said that a few times, was never size. And this is when people say to me in my posts or in my friends' posts on the dogs, oh, this dog is small, or oh, he looks so small. It's for whoever is saying that, they're hating, they're criticizing, but for us, it's actually a benefit. I don't want my dogs to be too big, because you know what happens when they're too big, when they are too tall, or they're too long. I mean, the lines, you just lose that consistent muscle tone, and
Yep, for sure.
for me, it's actually a compliment when people say, that dog is not so big. I don't want a freaking giraffe, or I don't want a freaking, you know, cow in my yard. I mean, I want to see muscle. I want to see, and that was the vision that Brazilian had all the way, all the way. If they wanted to do something to the breed, was not about height. I mean, they
Yeah.
did elevate the height a little bit, especially because they use the pockets. Some strands of the pit monsters were using pockets to
Hmm.
give that body mass, but they figured out then that Brazilian, and it's very important to say here, that type of, and Vito is the expert to talk about, and he's going to talk about it a little bit in a little time. The Brazilian gene pool of the American Bulldogs, the blood just shocked with the pit monsters that we had there. It shocked in a way that they started producing, even though it was an outcross, they consistently produced consistent looks. That's what people were searching. So the body mass, the volume, the athleticism, and they used very healthy individuals. Mind you, there was not a whole, you can count in one hand the number of individuals that were using for the F1s at that time. And, you know, New Iron and a couple of other dogs from Sunshine Bulls, they were the ones that started this. And you don't see anybody using other bulldog camps there. They maybe have tried, but I at least don't know any breeder that had opened for an F1 that didn't go for that bloodline. That specific bloodline brought the traits that we know today as making these dogs with this muscle expression, these heads, and I'm not saying that they're the only ones to do it, because we never, you know, I didn't see any other results. Vito has amazing American Bulldogs that we are thinking that maybe we're gonna do an experiment in F1s to see, you know, with his Bulldogs and my Brazilian Bulls. We are thinking about it to see that if that shock, the shock of the blood is gonna work the same way. But like I said, if you are gonna open the blood, open this, you know, the stud books, you might as well do it it has to be to get the traits to make it closer to the standard and not the other way around.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
I agree with that.
I would love to say hi to my friend Lauren. She just jumped in. Hey Lauren, how are you?
Hey guys, I'm good.
Good
Hope
to see you
good tonight.
Yes, Lauren is Samba South mob. She's here in Texas too. And
Okay.
here we have Didi. Hi, Didi.
Hey,
Didi is Samba Red River with Tony. Where's Tony?
he's still working.
Tony has a body shop.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, he's still working. He's painting right now, and he's got to get that truck out before we leave next week. So he's trying to hump money.
That's okay. Somebody got to pay the bills, right?
Yeah, for sure.
That's why we keep him around, huh?
You know.
Nice. Yes, we were talking a little bit. I'm sure you guys were listening, but it's interesting to see, you know, like the same gene pool for sure, the same type of genetics, but in different location, according to different environment and different vision, different traditions. I told on Damien's Buena Vista's live the other day, you know, Brazil is a country of radical sports, surf, skating, jiu-jitsu, MMA, and the culture of the body is very intense. You know, that's why they say, oh, the Brazilian girls have beautiful bodies. You know, you go to the beach and the guys are all fit, because the culture of the body there, because it's sunny the whole time. Imagine you living in a country where it's sunny every month of the year, and there's beautiful beaches. And so that culture influences in what you want to be and your lifestyle. And if you live that lifestyle, the most popular breed since the in the 90s was the pit bulls, and then they started selecting the bigger pits, the XSL pits, and some started only breeding them for the size, but also for the muscle. They never let the muscle go. And I think that's the most important trait of the Brazilian bull right now that has been preserved for the last 30 years. Vito, I would love to hear about what we were talking about. Vito, I don't know if you know Vito Mob. He's a legend in the American Bulldogs for many years. And Iron, the father of New Iron, listen to this. New Iron just passed. The guy that is almost in every modern Brazilian bull pedigree.
Mm-hmm.
The father of New Iron was called Iron. And Vito's blood is a few generations behind that Iron. So, Vito, I give you the word because I've already talked too much.
Yeah. No, my dogs aren't a major part, but Iron's father, I think, has 5 shots of dogs I sent to like 25 years ago. I sent dogs to France and the Netherlands and Germany, and they were bred quite a bit, especially a dog called Rocky. On the pedigree, it says Mansera Mac Rocky because at the time they made the guy sign a contract that said they had to keep his name on there. So they kept my name off. But if you see the females from Braveheart, so it was my breeding.
Okay.
But I don't think it had a huge influence. But I know all the dogs in New Iron and Iron's pedigree pretty intimately. So, I lately there's been a lot of, I don't know, seems like everybody's hypersensitive. I get all these comments that what was the one? We're subliminally bumping or subliminally we're brainwashing people.
Jabs. I'm
Jabs.
subliminal jabs. Yes, I think that's gonna be my next dog's name.
Which I think is weird because I think I try to be honest and fair, but I guess maybe when you're real sensitive, somebody says something, you take it and blow it up worse than it really is. I originally didn't think it was a smart idea for the ABKC to exclude Brazilian dogs and make it a different breed. But I have a bunch of weird ideas. I don't think they should be. I think they should have the stud book open. I think they should just let competition take over and give them some guidelines, but breeders should be able to do what they need to do. If you need to bring something in to straighten up problems, I mean, it's a new breed. Breeds were never created in 5 years or 2 years or take one dog and line breed on it. That's kind of what caused a lot of problems in the AKC breeds. Their closed gene pool, and then you got weird genetic problems popping up. So the healthiest breeds are the ones that were bred for a purpose, but they were also anything's on the table, whatever. If you find a dog that's better, has got traits you need, and you breed to it, and it creates a better dog, then everybody's going to breed to your dog.
Absolutely.
Whereas now we don't have that. We just have a piece of paper. My dog is this piece of paper, says he's great. But that piece of paper isn't going to really make your dog great. It just documents what's supposed to be his family tree.
For sure.
So I don't know.
Mob,
I think the Brazilians, things people don't think about with the Brazilian dogs is the gene pool is limited. Importing dogs over there is expensive, so they didn't have the freedom to breed to as many different things as the American Bully people probably have, and it's probably helped because the dogs are a little more line bred. I got Embark back on my puppy Flex, and his COI is 22.
Oh, wow.
22 is pretty high for a scatterbred mutt, and I study his pedigree. The only thing that you can really say he's line bred tight on is Bearzilla. So it must have been Bearzilla in there, and he's in there several times.
So for the ones that understand the pedigree, Flex that he's talking about is our puppy from, I always forget her name. I call her Mombrusos and Cafeína. I always call her Florzina. I don't know why. It's my dog, but I call her always every different name but Cafeína. I'm going to call her Cocaína. So something like that. Cafeína is hard to remember. Cafeína she's Bearzilla and also is Mombrusos, right? So
yeah, and she has a little bit of American oldie mix in her, like maybe a 12% or 12.5% or something like that. But that didn't show up. That didn't show up because in his breed profile, which I try to tell people, don't take that shit to heart. It's not 100% exact. But he's 70% American Pit Bull Terrier and 29.6% American Bulldog. So no American Bully.
No American Bully on Flex. Wow.
I'm sure he has some in there. I'm sure he's got a lot of shit in there that doesn't show up because those tests aren't pinpoint perfect.
Yeah, I had some Brazilians that I tested and they had All of them had a little bit of American Bully, but mostly American Pit Bull Terrier. And some of them, the old school type that I brought first, the ones that didn't have insertions, they would say 6 or 10% of Bulldog. Well, Klaus is a good example. He's 6% Bulldog, English Bulldog. That's probably coming from the background of,
Dax.
I can't say that because last time I said it came from Dax, people were like killing me. Who said the Dax has an English Bulldog? And I said, okay, I didn't say anything. You did.
Dax 100% does. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. I
his
mean,
whole bloodline was banned from a registry. Like, that's public information. Like, so I don't
everybody
understand why
knows.
people get. You said what now? I'm sorry.
No, you're right. Everybody knows about it.
Yeah, so I don't understand why people would feel a way about that. Like, we needed those dogs to do what we do today. Like, even the recent crosses. Not to harp on it, but look at Axel. Look at the role Axel has played in the ABKC from a champion and grand champion standpoint. How many offspring from those dogs have grand champed in the last 2 or 3 years? Like, so obviously that dog added something to the American Bully, and it was a good thing. So, again, I'm all for doing what's best for the breeds. I don't think you can close the stud books this early, as far as allowing crosses that we need to take place.
For sure. I want to ask you, in your opinion, when looking at the XLs, how they were, when you started, I don't know, 20 years ago, 15 years ago, and looking at them now, the last 3-4 years, what can you point out as the biggest changes that they went through? Like in the last, since you started until a few years ago, and how do you see them going from now on?
So I think the major change, and you kind of pointed out earlier, is that a lot of the dogs that we were chasing as XL breeders were out of the range of the conformation and what the standard called for, as far as height wise, as far as the look. You had dogs like BGK the Rock, you had Iron Cross Marin, you had Pro Bulls Tone, you had Ellis, Kakoa, those style of dogs that everybody wanted to breed to add size. And so when you looked at the XLs, especially in that pocket, not in the beginning when you had dogs like Ace and Arnold, but right after that, you saw a lot of tall, lankier style dogs that lacked the spread, lacked the bone, lacked the more bully or pit bull style faces. You had more of the loose jowls and things like that, is because of the size chasing. So now when you go to shows and you see the XL variety show, you see dogs that are in that 23 inches and under height range. You're seeing more and more dogs match the pockets and standards as far as the look goes, and I think that's the most important thing. The most important thing you can have in any breed is type,
Type.
right? Yeah, type. Anything that conforms the most to the breed should be the dogs that move forward in the breeding process. Uh, a lot of people will say, well, this dog doesn't look like what it's supposed to, but it has the genetics, and we're going to breed based on the dogs behind it. But if that dog isn't expressing those genes, at some point you can't rely on pedigrees. And we're seeing more selective and better breeding in the XL community. You have, and I think people going to shows and seeing more dogs is the reason for that. When I first got in, it was almost taboo to go to ABKC shows. People just, especially in the XL class, didn't want to do it, and it was almost to the point where we just should have been our own breed, right? A lot of people will say it even today, like, well, the XL shouldn't be included with the pockets and standards. That's fine if you're gonna do that. do it, but don't call your dogs American bullies. You see what I'm saying? Like it doesn't make sense to use the name of a breed and then turn around and breed away from what that breed standard calls for. So I think that's the main thing. As a XL breeder and as someone who I feel like humbly is an ambassador of the XL community, it warms my heart to go to shows and see bullier XL American bullies and seeing dogs. The dogs of today are such a step forward to what we had uh 6, 7 years ago, 10 years ago. It makes me proud to say that I breed American bullies.
Well, very nice. It's nice. Like I said, you're very passionate and you've always defended the right, in my opinion, you've always defended the right vision. You're always very a strong, very strong influence for the community to push these dogs, forward. And I think that when you saw the rise of the Brazilian bulls from 2021 and on, and you
Absolutely.
and you saw it very closely, because I don't know if very many people will know here, but in 2022, when I bought Klaus on his first month here, I flew to Atlanta to do a breeding because he wouldn't collect, and the vet was closed, and I said to the client, I'm gonna fly to you. Remember, Ryan?
Yep,
Uh,
absolutely.
so I flew to Atlanta, and I,
Princess Zaya
pardon me,
was the Princess
Princess.
Zaya was the dog that y'all bred the class.
Yes, that was one of his first breedings. I think it was his second breeding.
Hmm.
And that day, Mob, you see how sometimes we learn from experience and necessity. That day, I told myself, because I didn't know how to extend semen and to ship. That
Hmm.
day, I said, I'm never going to go through that again. So, you guys, here in Dallas, first time that Klaus went to a vet, and he was a timid dog. He was not comfortable around new people. Mob can tell you that. He
Hmm.
was very shy and timid and insecure. He was not used to crowds, and he was not used to cars because he lived in a remote area of Brazil. And when he got here, he was a phenomenon. Like, everybody wanted to see this dog, meet this dog, talked about this dog. He was, remember, Mob, he was in every life where they were talking, good or bad, they were talking about him.
Hmm.
And when I went to Atlanta, we put a little group of people together to see him and to meet him. And because he didn't collect here, so I said, I'm gonna hop on the plane with him, and we're gonna go to his vet. So we did go to his vet, and we collected over there. And after going to the vet, we met on a park, and that's when Mob met him. And he was actually a lot different than he is now. He was underweight. He had just gone through a long trip to get here, and he was happy with his ball. And that's how I met him. And after that, we were always in touch. Like, I was always on his lives. He was always watching my interviews, and there was always topics, controversial topics about the XLs and these Brazilian dogs coming here, and Klaus. And so Mob, he's very how do I say, he's very intimate with the Brazilian bull world since the get-go. So he saw the progress of these dogs coming here. He was one of the first people to meet Klaus. I think Klaus was the first Brazilian dog that actually caught everybody's attention to these dogs,
Hmm.
even though he's not a Brazilian bull type. He's more of an XL type, I would say, because, um, and now, what can you tell me? The same question that I did to you about the XLs. What can you tell me about the Brazilian bulls? Have you been noticing the difference between the ones that started coming here in 2021 to now?
Absolutely. I will say first and foremost, full circle. So that first breeding Klaus did in Atlanta, one of his daughters off that litter, we actually bred to one of my males, and so I have a male off of that breeding. So I actually have a Klaus grandson. So that's full circle from the day we met. The dog she came to breed to is actually a dog I ended up breeding to as well.
What is? Look what I got here, Mob. You see my screen?
Yep,
Which one is it?
it is that boy right there, the blue, the lilac boy in the corner, the bottom corner there.
This one, right?
Yep.
Beautiful. So
Yeah,
that's Klaus' grandson and Grizzly son.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful dog, man. We do protection training with that dog, and the muscle structure, the muscle tone, the bone. He's just a very well put together dog, like a very good specimen when it comes to the lines, the angulation, the type. He still has the spread and bone like I like, but the lines are just there. One of my favorite dogs I've ever owned. But yeah, big difference in the dogs that initially came. Klaus was the first Brazilian bull that I.
Are you there? Can you guys hear him?
No.
We lost you, Mob, your voice. Hello? Maybe he's getting settled there. Stacey, are you there? Oh, it's the internet. It's the internet. It's going round here. I see it going round. I think his internet is, let's give him a few minutes, you guys.
I saw Heroes is on here. I just watched a little video of a new dog he found at the Cinco de Mayo show. He's pretty cool looking dog.
Oh, really? I think I saw a video of just like
big,
quickly.
Giant head. He's real pretty, real clean looking for a big monster dog.
Okay, let's wait for Mob. Mob, if you're having a hard time, you can get off and come back in. Where is he? I think we lost him. It's okay. He's going to come back. You guys, if you have any questions for Stacey from American Bully Mob, please leave it in the comments because I'll be happy to read them. And we are seeing some of his dogs here. I think, where's Monster? This is Grizzly. Grizzly was the dog that I met him with that passed away, unfortunately. So yeah, we have to wait for him a little bit because he's not here. Didi, how are you doing, Didi?
Hey, Mamas, how are you?
We're doing great. We're here just, doing a lot of work. I had a lot of work yesterday, as you guys know. I was away from everybody. Yeah. Just hot, very hot.
It has been really hot here too. Yeah, I've been working a lot the last couple of weeks at both my jobs. But it's been really good and productive. So, and all the dogs are doing well. It's kind of hard sometimes to keep them cool, but we're doing it. So everybody's good over here.
Well, I get people, I was showing Mob, we had 5 contracts yesterday. People just, this is like the last 3 days. We have 1 puppy going to Canada, 1 puppy going to Spain. Oh, there he is. And we have 1 puppy going to Orlando, 1 to Houston. I had a sale in Australia for tractor and one for Manche in Germany. So we are going worldwide, you guys. There he is. Hey, Mob, you're back. Your voice. I can't hear you. Can't hear you. Let me show him that we are not listening to his voice yet. Can you guys hear him? I can't.
No. Oh, there
Okay.
you go.
No, he,
Maybe.
Technology is great until it's not.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating.
What did you guys do today? How are the pups?
Us? Oh,
Diddy, yeah.
oh, yeah. No, I worked all day. Tony left early, and then of course, he did all the dogs and stuff, and then I went to work. He came home for lunch, and then now I'm here. Let all the dogs out. That's why I was late. I was outside with the dogs. So,
Mob, we still don't hear you, okay? That's why we're not talking to you. Oh, maybe he came back. See? We'll see. Uh-oh. Hello? Are you there? Oh, I see you, but I don't hear you. Say something. Mob, are you there? I think he's having a bad connection. I hear you now, but yeah, we heard something. Let me text him here real quick. I think it's his internet. It's going in and out. I'm going to say hi to all of our people here. Beautiful people. Tyrone Rivera, how are you all doing? We're doing well, Tyrone. How are you? Duro, how are you doing? Great show. Thank you. Greetings from the Philippines, from Third Kills Handler. Hello. Doing a great job. It's the storm. Took me out. Oh, it's storming in Atlanta, you guys. Just sorry, just a second. Try to get back on. Let's see if he can get on. Apparently the weather is bad in Atlanta, and here he is. Can you hear us? Yeah, the connection is really bad. I think he's going. Hello?
Yep, I'm here.
Yay, he's back.
yeah, we hear you.
We hear you. Is it storming there now?
An insane storm right now brewing outside of my house. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not.
No. Is everybody safe there? The dogs, everybody okay? If you have to,
absolutely, yeah.
If you have to check on them, please, you don't have to hold up on us, okay? We'll wait for you. We have a question for you, Mob. Are you there?
No, it's fine.
Okay. Question for Mob from Archetype Bullies in Australia. Do you think that the XLs overall have gone backwards? If yes, what would you do to move it back?
I think the XLs have moved forward, in my opinion, and continue to move forward with the style of breedings that you see the kennels at the forefront doing. And if you compare the top dogs today to the top dogs from 3 or 4 years ago, or 5 or 6 years ago, even 10 years ago, the difference is night and day. When you talk about dogs like Grand Champion Mecca, dogs like Grand Champion
Grim.
Champion, and so on and so forth, those dogs exude so much breed type match with the muscle tone and the bone think there's no way you can consider the XL as having moved backwards at this point.
Yeah. So there you go, archetype. I agree with you. I think that, and this is why I asked you about 3-4 years from, to now,
You guys hear
because
me
I do.
still?
Yeah, I tell you want volume, the taller the dog, the more the narrower it usually gets, and the more compact body, it's easier for you to have a better conformation too. Lauren, tell me about your puppies. How are they doing?
They are doing great. They are huge and eating so much. But they're all good. Everybody's healthy. Everybody's enjoying more time outside. I let them out to hang out in the mornings when it's cooler. Let them all come in when it gets real hot. And then, I don't know, they're all doing good.
They're growing so fast right now, aren't they?
They are. Yes, they are. It seems like, honestly, they're still on a trajectory of gaining somewhere around 5 to 10 pounds every 10 days, I guess. I mean, I'd say easily that. The big blue puppy gained almost 8 pounds this last week. So,
and look who we got here. Out the Vibes 46 says, hey, what's good, everyone? Somewhat new to the Samba fam. Can't wait to have my puppy Debo Apex from Lawrence soon. Yes.
Hi, Nelson. That's Nelson.
Yes.
Yeah, Debo is going to California.
Cali.
So,
been great working with you all.
Getting ready to leave. We have one going to Georgia, one going to California, and one going to North Dakota. So.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight, Nelson. That's great. Mob, I have another question for you. Can you hear us? He's going like
He might be frozen.
Yes. Oh, let me see. Hey, you guys, I'm sorry about our guest he's having some internet problems because of the storm. Apparently it's storming a lot in Atlanta where he lives. Just be safe. That's all I care for. The dogs especially. Let's see. Let me take him off and see if he can come back. Okay. The question is, who are the key studs right now you believe that the community should be aiming to breed with to meet the desired standard? That's a great question. Game-changing kennels. I love that name. There he is. Hey, Mob, can you hear us?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
I can hear you fine.
Yeah, I hear you and I kind of see you. Are you outside? Is that okay?
Yeah.
We have a question for you.
I just had to come upstairs out of my office.
Okay. We have a question from Game Changing Kennels. Question for Mob. Who are the key studs right now that you believe the community should be aiming to breed with to meet the desired standard? So who are the key studs to meet the desired standard?
I think people should breed to keep the standard. Is that the question that I heard?
What are the main studs right now that you believe that the community should be aiming to use to get, for breed type? The main studs in the XLs, what do you think that are the ones to go to? You hear me?
I mean, I think that's a more of a complicated answer because it would all depend on what your program needed and what features that dog could bring to your program. I think there's a lot of good studs that can be used to do certain things for certain programs. One of the dogs that I'm about to breed to right now is Mecca. Mecca, American Bully. Can you guys hear me still?
Yes, we can. Yeah, I knew that. Me and Didi knew that.
Yeah, for sure. So
Yeah.
Mecca is a from a complete standpoint, he's one of the more complete dogs I've ever seen. Uh,
Hmm.
I think Buena Vista's boy McLovin, if you talk about a head piece and he can do as far as correcting the head style and face of a dog, I think he could be a very useful tool.
Why do
Man,
you think
this
that?
is that's a loaded question because well,
What do you like about McLovin's head? What do you think he can add to the to breed types?
it's the shape, it's of the muzzle, right? I mean, that dog probably got a 28, 29 inch head, but it's still apple cheeks. You still got the apple cheeks. You still got the two finger muzzle. Um, just a beautiful headpiece, man. It's one of a kind. Like you just don't see it too often. I'm surprised a lot more people aren't using that dog. When I just saw him at Cinco, he looked pretty good. I think a dog that is throwing a lot of type puppies. Obviously, they his puppies aren't old enough for us to really judge it, but I like what I'm seeing out of Fetty right now. Uh, the dog that he owns, the Black Tribe Boy. I saw him at Cinco. I was very impressed with him. He was a lot bigger than I thought he
Oh,
was.
Caleb's
Uh,
dog, right? Did you say Caleb?
I think Mickey owns Fetty.
Oh, okay. I'm talking about. I think I saw Teddy Bear.
Teddy was a very nice dog when I just saw him, and again that speaks volumes to Grand Champion Top Gun because I mean we see dog after dog coming off of him that look great. So Top Dog is another one you got to throw his name in that conversation as well. Uh, there's a couple of lesser known dogs that I like that the community may not be their cup of tea. Obviously, you look over and see the boys has the Narcan dog that's nice. Uh, Top notch with the Splash Brothers. Those dogs exuberate so much breed type, man. Both Steph and Clay do. Uh, you have the dog Mondo, who I haven't got a chance to see him in person, but he looks very good, and the litters that I've seen off of him look good as well. So there's a lot of dogs to choose from right now. I think it's you can go a lot of different ways. I think even my dog Monster is a dog that can add a lot to a program when it comes to not only breed type but structure as well. So
I
yeah, there's a
liked
lot of
Monster.
options out there.
I really liked Monster when I saw him at Cinco.
I appreciate it.
Beautiful
So
dog.
yeah, I there's so many dogs to choose from, and I hate to again as an ambassador of the breed, I know I'm leaving off so many dope dogs that could be named. Monopoly, another one. Some of the puppies I'm seeing off of Monopoly look great. And then Tap In's other boy, Grim, who just grand champed about a month ago. Another good example of the breed. I know you got to see him as well a few weeks ago. So yeah, there's a lot of dogs out there, man, that can do so much for the community. And one thing I want to say is one thing I really want XL breeders. If you watching this, if you take anything from this live, uh, the controversy that's been going on in the last few weeks, if it hasn't done anything, it has brought XL breeders closer together. So take that in stride and let's start doing more breedings that make sense. Don't count dogs out for your program because of how you may feel about the owner of those dogs or the past history. I think the XLs, we missed out on so many dope breedings because of the clicks and a lot of the politics and things like that. But I think if you put these dogs I'm naming in the same pot, you'll come up with some great dogs.
Yeah. No, and like we were saying before the live, sometimes we need. Sometimes it's like, I don't know how to say this in English because my English sucks, but it's in the bad times that we make great things. The best things happen usually in the worst times, and when we have topics like what happened this couple of weeks because of the charts that I posted, and I have already said it, and I'm not going to be repeating myself here, that there was never to compare dog quality. I guess I'm so technical when it comes to dog breed and to conformation, that for me, if I'm putting a chart together or not together, because I didn't write it, it was the standard, and I put them two together, I was honestly trying to compare the differences when everybody's saying that it's the same. And there's a lot of difference if you look about it. So at the same time that there was something that unexpectedly caused so much, if that made you guys get closer together, I already feel happy. If I did something positive, even though it came from something negative, I love it, because this is the type of person I am. I'm for the people united, for the breeds united. I love XLs. Everybody knows that. I have XLs. I'm campaigning Sultan. You met Sultan, and for me, he's, even though he has Brazilian blood, I kept him on the XL lane because for me, he is XL looking, and I want to honor his breed type to the XL breed. And this is why I close my studs, my Brazilian bulls, to honor my breed, not my breed because the breed is not mine, but to honor the breed that I intended to preserve in my program. So if this controversy and this topics united you guys, but I just hope that this unity is actually something real, because I see a lot of hate, if it's not against the Brazilian bulls, against each other. And let's make out of this lemon, let's try to make a huge lemonade and put people together, put shows together. Eddie Blue Line, shout out to Eddie. He invited me to do a show. Let's put a show together, the XLs against the Brazilian bulls. And I said, Eddie, I love the idea, but I don't like the idea of the competition. It's not about competition. Let's put them together in a fun show. Let's ask ABKC to do a fun show at the end of every ring, to do just the breed of, it's a fun show, XLs with Brazilian bulls. I think they should be able to compete together, and it would be fun to see, but not with the intent of competing malevolently. Is that word exist? Like in a bad way, competition is good. And I do believe that the Brazilian dogs arriving here raised competition and elevated the bar for both breeds, and for them too. Absolutely. They want to do better. So that's how I see that right now. No, I know Blue Line is UKC and he's not ABKC, but what I'm saying is it's two separate things, Hero. Thank you for reminding me that. He asked me to put a fun show together with him for the XLs and for the Brazilian people, so we can put them together and do a big event. And I said, I'm for it if it's not a rivalry thing. It has to be something to unite the two tribes, and not to promote hate or to promote, because I'm totally against that. And on the other hand, something that would be nice to do is talk to ABKC and maybe to the organizers of the show to do a fun ring for the XLs and the Brazilian bulls, because they are in the same category of dog. They have the same heights, they have around the same weights, they have similar conformation, and it would be nice to see them together. I think that if it's this type of competition is what makes you get better. It makes you get better. And if it's helping the XL American Bully, I'm for it. I'm for it because I do love it. And I love the XLs. I have them here. They are the base of my program. My first bully dog was and is an XL. And Mob, I have a surprise here for you. I don't think can you see my screen?
Yep.
Look at this. Remember this moment? That's when you came here, and that's Sheik. He put hands on Sheik. He's such a big guy, you guys, and Sheik's still big near him. But what did you think of Sheik in person, Mob?
Man, I love the dog. He's more my style of dog when it comes to the body style, the wide front end, uh, the bone. Definitely, Shake is almost reminiscent of me of the XXL pit bull style look and the dogs that we used to chase back in the day, and that's what actually draws me to the Brazilian bull. Like I said before, dogs like Shake, dogs like Brazilla, dogs like Bucanas, just remind me so much of the old Guy lines or Gray line style dogs as far as the muscle tone, as far as the structure, and that's what draws me to the Brazilian bull breed and made me want to jump into that lane as well. I want to touch on a point you made about the Eddie Blue Line wanting to do the show that picks the XLs and the Brazilian bulls, to put them into a friendly competition as far as stack offs and stuff like that. I think it's a good idea, and it's something, if anybody's been paying attention to the community for the past year or two, you've seen the back and forth with kennels like myself and TMK, uh, other Brazilian bull breeders. Shout out Sumo Kennels, another program that I respect that's doing Brazilian bulls as well. But we're going back and forth at each other about the stack off at nationals. I don't know if anyone knows, but at nationals there was a stack off that included Brazilian bulls and
Oh yeah,
XLs
that's
as
true.
well, and you saw Big John right in the mix. Uh, with the XL American Bullies as well. D Town is doing a fifth show Bulls, so and that's AC sanctioned. So it's we're moving in that direction. I think healthy competition, like you said, is always good as long as it comes from a positive place. I don't think it'll the competition could ever be a bad thing. There's dogs on both sides that I think would be great for my program. Unfortunately, BKC won't allow us to do those type of breeders going forward, and that's okay. It's like, okay, well, I'll just start Brazilian. I
Your
think it's
voice
a.
is
I
your
think
voice is
like you said, I think that'll be a
your voice is cutting out
what?
just a little bit. Are you near
Yeah,
your
this storm is. No, my internet is out for sure. Give me.
Oh, okay, okay. And can you tell us a little bit about your before you start talking about the project with the Brazilian bulls, I have another surprise for you, Mob. Are you there? Hello?
Yep, I'm here.
I have another surprise for
Yeah,
you
can you hear me?
before. Yeah, we hear you now. Look at this. Who's that guy?
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's Grizzly, man. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Grizzly.
That's dope.
That's the base of his program right there. And
Yeah, yeah.
it was,
That's pretty cool. I didn't even know you took those pictures.
I think I sent them to you. That's where I found them on our, because you were very shocked when I sent them to you. It was just right after he passed, but I sent them to you when I gave you my condolences. That's Grizz, you guys. Mob's best friend.
Man, that is cool. I did not know you took those pictures, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll send them to you again. So now tell me, what's going on with the Brazilian bulls? I'm happy to hear that you are excited to do a project. What are you thinking? You don't have to say if you don't want
Hold
to,
on.
but
I'm gonna jump out and jump right back in. Everything
okay.
is clear. Give me 1 second.
All right. Hey guys, stay there. Don't leave because we have a lot more to talk about. We are an hour and 10. We still have a half an hour to talk to him if he has time. Caleb, Tony Cervantes, Aurea Giacomelli, would y'all be able to make it to Andalusia, Alabama, September 26th? I hope so. We're just talking about it, right? Oh, there he is again. Let me remove him. Hey, Mob, we see you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. I'm back on my Wi-Fi now. So,
Okay.
what was your question again? I'm sorry.
I was just reading some questions while you're out, and Tony asked us about this Andalusia, Alabama show. I'm coming. Are you coming, Mob?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay. Lauren, we'll try.
I am trying. I will try to be at that one, and I think we're going to try to be at the Georgia one too. That's coming up towards
For
the
sure.
end of August. Is it August or September? I think it's August.
Alabama is September.
That's right. So the 29th of August is Georgia, and we're going to try to be there, and then Alabama in September. Yep.
Caleb, well, I'm down. XL versus Brazilian Bull in the fun show. I'm down. Honestly, it will bridge the gap. That's what I'm hoping for. I'll bring Hercules and a Brazilian. That's awesome, Heroes. That's Jason and Hillary from Heroes Kennel. Shout out to Heroes. And now the vibe said, enjoy your wife's channel. Been watching for a couple of months now. That's awesome. Sorry, we're getting a lot of messages here. Are you there, Mob? I see. Can you hear us? Oh, somebody said Grizzly. Yes, that was Grizzly. Candy Avila, Caleb, I would absolutely add that as a category. I do believe there will be Brazilian bulls there. Oh, yes, we'll be there. Candy, anyone on the live, y'all can reach out to me for any information. ABKC Red Carpet Royalty Ball, September 26th. So everybody watching this live, and contact Candy Avila for details, but there's an ABKC show in Andalusia, Alabama on September 26th. Candy, we will be there. Samba family will be there to just be there for you guys. Take some Brazilian bulls for everybody in that area to see these dogs, and hope to meet you too. We would love to have y'all come and join. We're putting together, definitely. I don't have anything scheduled for the 26th. Vito has litters. Mob, are you there? I don't hear him, so I don't know if he's or not. Yeah, he left. Candy. I hope I'm pronouncing the name right. Candy or Candy? Let's wait a little bit. I think he's going to come back. Yeah, let me see if he messages me. There he is. He's back.
Thank God we have
there you are. There you are.
Internet issues over here.
There you are. Somebody's asking about another show. When will be Georgia? Georgia, I think, is August 29th in Columbus.
Yep, August 29th, Columbus. Yep. It's going to be a good
First show for my grand champion Apollo's son, produced by Caleb. Oh, good for you. Nice. Shout out to grand champion Apollo. He didn't like the picture that I used in the chart. I'm sorry. I think he's beautiful in any angle. So
yeah, Apollo is a very nice dog.
He's typey, you know. For me, he's typey, and
Yeah, yeah, he's one.
when
He's
he,
one of the most beautiful dogs I've ever seen. Just as a complete package, you can't really. It's hard to beat a dog like that.
now you talk about the XL studs. What are the top? I don't know, top five Brazilian studs that you like. You don't have to tell my dogs. I know you if you know anyone in Brazil that you like or that you've
Um,
seen.
what's the Batello? One of my favorite dogs from a look point. I haven't had a chance to put hands on him, but I like Batello.
I think he's
Uh,
gonna be in D Town. I think.
okay. Shake, another dog. Great specimen. Like I said, I'm glad you let me come out and put hands on him. Big John is a phenomenal dog in his own right. I think what he will bring to the table for the Brazilian Bull moving forward. Um, I like that dog. Baird is another dog that I just got to see. Did you get to see Baird at Cinco?
Bear is big. Is Ariete's son, the white one that I
Yep.
gave the. I judged him, right?
Mm-hmm.
The fun show. Yeah, that's the one I gave to. He's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, he's Ariete, another dog. That dog is a good producer from what I'm seeing. So yeah, I like those. Those are the dogs I would go with. A sleeper, and I don't know if this dog is considered a Brazilian bull. I know he's papered American Bully, but that boy Problem off Brazil is a freaking dog, man. That dog he's nice.
I don't know that one.
Problem is the Brazilla son that Tappan owns.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
yeah, he
He's a
was
big
at
boy, isn't he?
nationals as well. He's huge. He's huge.
Yeah, I think I know
Uh,
who he is.
Probably every bit of 180-pound dog. Probably a little more than that.
No
Uh,
way. And Brazil is not such a big dog.
yeah. So Problem is a nice dog. I would say those are my favorites right now. Tractor obviously, man, is I think Tractor would do wonders for a lot of Excel programs.
He
And
did, and
that's a
he did. He did
yeah,
well with Excels.
he's a specimen of a dog. But my favorite Brazilian bull, period, is Bucanas.
Oh,
Yeah, I was just blown away by her when I saw her. It's like man, she's a special dog. I can't wait to
thank
see
you.
what you do off of her going forward.
You know, I bred her to Jumanji. That was my last Excel Brazilian breeding. And I tell you, we kept something very special. It's Lauren has her. Her name is Juju, and she's a Merle.
Okay.
But the boys that breeding with Bucanas and Jumanji, I sold the boys not because I loved them. They were beautiful, extremely heavy dogs. How? And you see, Bucanas is a small bitch. All of her puppies are way bigger than her. You saw Smoke. You saw Smoke
Yep.
and Manche and Mona Lisa. They're all taller dogs, much taller than the mom. I have a dog here that's about, I think he's like 25, 26 inches tall, Bucanas and Shake.
Oh wow.
And I have, and Bucanas litter with Shake, they're all huge, tall, big. They're athletic. They're not thick like the XLs. They're more athletic, but they're tall. And then the puppies from Jumanji and Bucanas, not the girl. The girl is hidden. She's hidden for now. But the two boys, I decided to not use them because they just looked more on the XL bully, and I'm my program I'm fixing to just the Brazilian program. I want to maintain more Brazilian looking, right? So yeah, that was the last breeding that I did, Bucanas. And for the ones that don't know, this is Bucanas right here. And it's funny to see, and I tell everyone that the Brazilian bloodline, they are very different. The growth of the growth curve is very different, and they take forever to develop, you know. That's her right there. There she is.
Yeah, she's a nice dog.
Yeah, she's beautiful, isn't she? There's a little video of her here that's gonna show when she was a baby. It's this one, I think. Yeah, he was very impressed. And she's not a big girl. She's just very, very well put together. Beautiful beauty type. And muscles. And
Yeah, that's a specimen.
there she is. Look at this girl. Look at her. You see how they're different from the XLs? You know, the XLs, they tend to be teddy bears. There you go. Now,
Yeah,
can you
go ahead.
sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I'll ask you
No,
a
I
little
was
bit.
gonna say that when you read the standard of both breeds, they call for just different dogs. I mean, that's you know, I think it speaks to the fact that we aren't done and complete in the creation of either breed. With the simple fact, again, there's so many examples of other breeds where you see dogs that started off very similar, and then the path that they took led them in different ways. I used the example of the American Bulldog with the Johnson version and the Scott version, right? Or you look at the Cocker Spaniel and you see the King Charles style compared to the your everyday Cocker Spaniel. So the breeds just call for different dogs. The things that we appreciate in the American Bully, the short blocky muzzle, the girth, are things that the Brazilian Bull don't call for. Like you mentioned, the shorter back is something that's more
Oh, he's gone.
Can you guys hear me?
You're back now. Yes.
What was the last thing I said that you heard?
You're talking about how, for example, the Brazilian Bull Standard, one of the traits that is different from the XL American Bully is the length of the back. You know, we are the Brazilian Bulls require a longer back, and there's so many other traits that are different. You know, the line of the jawline here has to go up a little bit. You know, the if you look at on the profile, the muzzle line, I'm sorry, the inferior muzzle line goes up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That's why that terrier look, because it kind of goes in a conic.
Yeah, what we
form.
would consider as American Bullies to be more of a snipier muzzle.
Correct. A sniper muzzle, but without being snipey. You know, it's just like it's powerful, but it's pointier without being pointier. I don't know if I can say that. Are you there, Mob? Because we don't see you. I think I hear you, but I don't see you anymore. Are you there? Ooh. Hey guys, let's just wait a little bit. He's having technical difficulties due to weather. I'm gonna read some of the messages in the meantime. What Brazilian females producing the best litters? Bucanas. She just made her. I think we can announce it here. The first Brazilian Bull champion, ABKC, is from Bucanas. Samba's Smoke. And who the sire is? Mr. Photoshop, Chic. Right, Vito? Where is Mob? Hey, Mob, are you there? Okay, I think it's Bucanas because she produced amazing with Jumanji. She produced amazing with Sheik. So the next one is going to be very special too. It's going to be a full Brazilian. Well, I'm not doing anything that's not full Brazilian anymore, with the exception of Sultan. Sultan is my Excel register. There he is. Oh, there you are.
Yep.
Would love to mix tractor into our Excel lines, especially our Enzo daughters. Well, I have in Australia, we have tractor there. You know, you can still use him there. I just wouldn't want to promote the use of tractor as Excel breedings, but because you guys don't even have Brazilian bulls there yet, if you want to use tractor there, I'm still open to have them breed in Australia, just because there's not a gene pool of Brazilian bulls there, you know, and it would be very hypocrite of me to say no, because I did it. I sold so many studs as XLs, but maybe you can use him in Australia. We're not doing it here anymore. But I don't know. I have a feeling that soon we're going to have a Samba Kennels in Australia. And then when that happens, then all of my studs are going to be closed for American Bullies, because they're only going to be available for the Samba Kennels Australia. And Scorpion. Yes, the Scorpion it's a nice dog. Caleb, Zay, Shortback. Tony Sandoval, what about your brother? Yes, Tony's coming too. The Samba family for sure. It happens with some bullies as well. When to clean up. You clean them up, they become more athletic and they have more terrier look. I think that happens especially if you open the blood. You tend to make it longer muzzles and pointier muzzles. Yes, we have 2 dogs from the Alpha Kennels. They are using him, Tractor. Yes, Alpha Kennels, that's one of the breedings that we're gonna have. But I don't know if she's gonna register as XL. I'm not sure yet. You guys, Mob is having a hard time due to the weather. Anybody wants to asks us anything here? Let me see. I lost my page on Instagram. Let me see. Okay. We're going to wait a little bit until Mob comes back, okay? Vito, do you have anything to say about everything that was said about the XLs and what do you think? What do you see? Because you have been studying these dogs a lot.
Yeah, I'm not an expert, so it's hard to say. I don't really know all the XL dogs. I never was into them. I liked King Liger. I saw many years ago a little video of him in somebody's front yard. I thought he was a cool dog. But every time I saw pictures of him, I thought, man, that doesn't even look like the same dog. They weren't taking good pictures of him. But I don't know. I would like to ask Mob what he thinks it needs improvement on both sides, both breeds. What he sees as things that should be changed, improved, added.
Yeah, well, let's see if he comes back. Let me see if he sent me any messages here. No, I think he doesn't have internet, because if he doesn't have internet, he's not sending me a message, right? He should be back soon.
Game-changing Kennels asked about Sultan. Sultan's open to American Bully breedings, right?
Yes, he is. He is, and he's looking amazing. He won Best Male Best XL 2 times in the last show. The The very last ring, he was very, very tired. And then on the third ring, she said that he was limping. I don't know where she saw he was limping, but she said he was limping. So, but he's open. Sultan is a Sheikh's son, and he is a Tetra's daughter. And Tetra is Klaus, and Lily. Lily is Whopper's lettermate sister. That's Sultan right here. Let me show you guys. Somebody asked me for Sultan. There he is. That's my boy. He's very clean, very correct. I think he is the evolution of my work as my vision for the XL. You know, he has better conformation than his dad. Of course, he's not his dad. I mean, there's two types of dogs. There's the wow factor freak dog that is, and he is the show type. He's got perfect structure, feet, top line, and he's still a baby. He's only 16 months. So, and that bloodline will pop later. I don't know. He might turn out to be more Brazilian when he turns, 2.5, because the head is still gonna pop, but I think he has more of that looser skin and the breed type more according to the XLs. Will Sultan ever be sent to Australia? Yes, anytime you want. Just tell me and I'll arrange it for you. And he's producing beautiful puppies. He had one litter, I think 11 puppies here in Texas, and they were gorgeous. Will Sultan be in Georgia at the end of the month? I'm not sure yet. We will see. It's going to depend on a few factors that we haven't decided yet. We're going to Brazil, and that's going to be a pretty busy week for us coming back. But we will see. I want to go, but I don't know if my dog is going to be competing. Tell Mob to get on that T-Mobile home internet life. There he is. We have a message for you, Mob.
All right, let's go.
Tell Mob to get on that T-Mobile home internet life. Being great everywhere out on even.
Hey, man, if T-Mobile can beat this storm outside, I need to switch to them then.
You sound good now.
Yeah, you sound much better now.
Yeah, I think I should be good going forward. It sounds a lot more fluid.
Perfect. Can you talk a little bit about King Liger? Vito said that he remembers he's not very used to the XLs as he is with the Brazilian blood, but he likes King Liger. Did you meet him?
I never got a chance to put hands on King Liger. I think he had a substantial effect on the American Bully, just simply from the yard he came from with RBG and Saul, and what his father did, King Lion. But you see Liger still holding a very deep impression, even a greater so than his father on the American Bully, because when you mention him, you got to talk about dogs like Wonka, and who's a grandson off of his daughter, Black Beauty, and what those dogs off of those breedings, what you still see people doing double Wonka, triple Wonka breedings to this day. So, yeah, I never got a chance to put hands on King Liger. He was like in his heyday right when I got started with the American Bullies. But he definitely was a specimen of a dog. Definitely a 140, 150-pound dog 10 years ago when dogs just simply weren't that big.
Mob, if you could bring back one stud to use in your program, who would it be? Bring back, I mean, one of these iconic dogs that are not here with us anymore.
If I could bring back any dog to use on my program, I would bring back Arnold the Terminator.
Arnold.
Yeah, Arnold would be the guy for sure. Man, I love that dog, man. He just was everything I thought a bully should be. The muscle tone, the breed type, uh, the effect. He's another dog that had a profound effect on the breed. What was it his granddaughter? That was that girl's name off of Shogun Warrior. Uh, Well, Stack's mom, I can't. I'm slipping on her name right now, but Arnold daughter that had a very profound effect. I would say either Arnold or even for the newer breeders, it would probably be Axel. I mean, if I could use them a couple times and take those dogs toward the top of the breeding away, I think he would be a good tool to use as well.
Before, did you mean butterscotch?
No, no, no. Butterscotch Stack's mom. Yeah, she was. No, so it's not. But Jasmine is the dog I'm thinking of.
Oh, Jasmine. That's
Yeah.
my, I always say that's my favorite strain. Jasmine there.
Yep. Jasmine's Good Bar's mom. I'm sorry. I was a little that mixed up on my history there. So yeah, Jasmine was Good Bar's mom, but she was off of a dog named Shogun Warrior, who I thought should have been a dog that was used a lot more than he was. That was one of my favorite eras of Bossy Kennel's yard. They had dogs like Demi Lovato was a special dog. Amber Rose off of that caveman breeding, who I actually used one of her sons earlier in my breeding career. So yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
I got Pitpedia here. Who are you talking about? Did you say Jasmine's
Yeah, it's Jasmine. It's
Jasmine? Yeah, that's Jasmine. That's Tetra's mama.
mhm.
I have her blood here.
Yep, and then like I said, the other dogs that were from similar breedings, Amber Rose was from I want to say Jasmine the Caveman, if I'm not
Caveman. Yeah,
mistaken.
this is
Yep.
Arnold for everybody that's interested in learning about the XLs. This is Arnold.
Yep. And Arnold was a line bred one Gotti dog off Monster.
Monster Jojola
Yep.
and Gotti Lines Lucy Lou. You know, when when Klaus came, a lot of people compared him to Monster Jojola. There
Yeah,
he
for
is.
sure. Yeah, for sure. Very strikingly similar dogs.
Look at this, Vito. Who
Oh,
does he look like?
yeah, it looks like Klaus kind of.
Yeah.
Well, you know why? Because
Eh,
look at the dogs behind them are very
Juan
similarly
Gotti,
bred
yes,
dogs. Yeah,
he's
for sure.
Juan Gotti, and who's the daddy of? Yeah,
Yep. So if you Dax is a Gotti line dog as well. So
that's true. Yeah, a lot of history here. So Arnold is your guy. I think it was I was watching an interview from Kat, and she said the same. She would bring Arnold back.
yeah, Arnold was so I don't know if you guys are familiar with Showstopping Ace, who was another cultural phenomenon of a dog
Top
for
dogs.
top dog bullies.
Yeah,
He was the sire for Victoria's Secret, Adios, El Cucuy, so on and so forth.
I have
Dogs
him
that
here.
yeah,
That's Ace.
left a lasting impression on the community. And I'm such a big Ace fan, especially being from here in Georgia, where Top Dog Bullies originated. And he was a dog that I think was special. Um, he produced more of the XXL pit bull style and look. Obviously, that's what he was bred to do.
Did you
So it
meet him?
doesn't really. Yeah, absolutely. I got
How
to
big
see
was
Ace
he?
a
Was
couple
he
times.
tall?
He wasn't big or tall at all. He wasn't considered a big or tall dog. I would say probably around 115, 120, which is still a decent sized dog. Um,
I know
but he
they're
was
very different, but is Bigfoot, does he have any ace? I think he does, right?
Bigfoot, I believe, does have adios. if I'm not
Adios, yes,
mistaken.
not Ace.
Well, Adios is an A son, so yeah.
Adios are Ace son. So yeah, so he does have Ace. Well, yeah, because Bigfoot is great grandsire to Shake. That's his American Bully bloodline. You know, maybe a part of the big dogs come from that. I think that he's been producing. Very good. Anybody has any questions to Mob? Why we still have like a 10-minute talk. I'd love to hear more questions to our guest. He has a lot of knowledge. Hero says, adios, best producer all time. Butterscotch. The Rock produced some nice studs. That's Shane Elliott. Heroes Kennels. Her dad, Adios, the goat. Love Jasmine. I love Jasmine too.
Yeah, Adios left a very lasting impression on the bully community. So it was dope to see uh, a lot of stuff that came off of him and being able to, obviously being around Top Dog and seeing the stuff that he came off of. So it was definitely a privilege.
Is that true? The Liger got a little spicy towards the end. Somebody says here.
I'm not sure. I couldn't answer that. I didn't see him in person to make that call, but the dogs back then, you know, just go back and look at the videos and talk to some of those breeders for back then. They bred dogs to have a little more spice to them, so I wouldn't be surprised by that. They were big into the face-offs uh, and dogs pulling on the leash and that sort of thing. So that was more so uh, the temperament that they preferred at the time.
He was the culture. He was part of the culture.
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
In Brazil, the same, those gamier pit bulls and the red lines. And that's something that they noticed that they needed to bring down a little bit. And they worked their way to, I actually like a good driven dog. I,
Yeah,
you
I'm a
know,
sucker for them.
I do like them. I love not having the liability of having a dog like that in my yard because all of my dogs are teddy bears. But sometimes I wish that some of them, I wish that I like say, hey, wake up, let's go. And on some other ones are just like Klaus, he can't see the ball. He loves playing with balls and he has a lot of drive and he's looking amazing for his age. I mean, he still has that muscle tone, and I think he has, and he's so different now, Mob, from what you met him. I think the last time you came here, he was a little better already, but now, like, I guess he's so used to being a pop star. Everybody touches him and everybody plays with him that he's just, before you couldn't even touch him. He was very like skittish, and now he's just everybody's friend and getting older, I guess, getting more. But I do like a driven dog, and he has a lot of drive. He just doesn't. He didn't like noises. Like when I took him to shows, it was shit show. I should have never taken because he just didn't like all that crowd. I took him to Rumble once. Imagine Rumble in the jungle with Klaus just recently arrived here, and but anyways, let's see what else. I remember Ace. Ace was probably a standard. Yeah, and these smaller dogs, they produce, so it's easier to work with a smaller dog. That's why I say that I love dogs that are a little smaller, because it's easier to work with them for a better structure, because they usually produce bigger dogs. Look at Jumanji. The kids on Jumanji are huge. A lot of the old school dogs had drive, 100%. Vito
Yeah.
asked what Mob would change to improve both breeds. What would you change to improve both breeds?
I think in a conversation I had with you a couple weeks ago, you were explaining how I forget what kennel club it was, but how they had to check the dogs before they were allowed to breed them. I think more restrictive breeding would benefit both. um, both breeds. And again, as someone who's a proponent and still using, other breeds, and I think if you come to let's say the ABKC, you had to submit, videos of movement and pictures of different angles of your dog in order to be able to breed it. A lot of kennels will go out of business, you know, because it would make us have to breed better dogs. And I think that could be the case on both sides. So I think more selective breeding would definitely be my answer to that on both sides.
More selective breeding for sure. I
Absolutely.
agree with you. I
Yeah,
think we
I've
should
literally
always
had people bring females to my house to use my stud, and they'd be like, "Man, why are you wasting your money?" And it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, why do you think this dog is gonna make this female? This female is not shouldn't be bred. You know, and it's we some of us got to have that hard conversation with ourselves. Like, if it's not a dog that's of breeding standard, that's okay. It's okay for a dog to be a nice pet, you know. But we have to be stricter about what dogs move our breeds forward.
I want to know, Lauren, would you like to ask Mob a question after listening to his experience with the dogs?
I don't know why you had to put me on the spot.
Oh, I'm sorry. You can
No,
think
you're
about
fine.
it.
I'm teasing. I'm teasing you. Um, no, I mean, I don't know. I think that I've really enjoyed hearing about his journey and all of the knowledge that he has on both sides of it. You know, you've been around for a very long time. Um, and I think that that is admirable because it is not often that people stick this stuff out. They often hop in thinking it's going to be a quick buck, and then they leave because it's not. So, I just major kudos to you. You've done a lot, I think, to help with the breed, um, and I'm excited to meet you when we get to some of these shows that we're coming to here in the next couple of months.
Absolutely, same.
Vito, do you have a question for him?
Yeah. What again, back to that question, what improvements do you think are needed in both, in the Brazilian and in the XL?
Can you guys hear me?
You
Yes,
got a little
a
staticky.
little bit.
Did you hear my question?
Oh, I didn't. I hear. I cut out right when you started. I'm sorry.
Okay. Like, so taking both breeds separate, what, like in your XLs, what across the board in the breed, what do you think needs to be improved, changed, and same with the Brazilian dogs?
That's a great question because I think both breeds, in my humble opinion, they both lack the same thing, and that's consistency across the board. Can you
Consistency.
guys still hear me? Yeah.
Yes,
So
we hear you.
when you go to a show and you go to these confirmation shows, the first thing you notice, and I know you guys can attest to this as well, is that the pockets and standards they all almost look the exact same. When you look at the XL dogs, there's 8 different looks. You might see
Yeah.
a couple that it matches, but for the most part, there's no consistency in the breed type. And I'm a big proponent in the way to do that is to close the breeding pools and shorten them down. Uh, from a breeding standpoint, when I look at a pedigree of a well bred dog, you should only see the same 10 to 15 dogs in the pedigree. And I think once people get back to that style of breeding, we'll see more consistency. And it's the same, I believe, with the Brazilian bull as well, because you have so many people doing their thing and breeding the dogs that they like, and I'm a big supporter of that breed what you like, but it has to align with the standard and of the breed, right? So you'll see dogs like Sultan, who is this dog that has these great lines, and like you even pointed out, more of the American bully style. But when people who aren't familiar with the situation, they'll box him with the Brazilian bulls, and then you have dogs like the John style, the big John style, the more extreme style dog. And
It's cutting out a little bit. The second dog, we didn't hear it.
where we are as both breeds in the infancy stage of these breeds, that we need to be building more towards something more consistent.
The second dog that you said we didn't hear. You said about Sultan, and then you said who?
Did that answer your question?
Can you hear us? Did he answer your question, Vito?
Yeah. I was kind of thinking more like traits,
Hey,
little
you guys
traits
hear me?
that you want to change and improve.
Hey, Mob, can you hear us? Hey, Mob. I think he's having a hard time listening to us.
Yeah, he was cracking up there.
Yeah, he was cracking really bad. Too bad, because he can't hear us.
You guys were talking about breed, having more uniformity and having more rules and all that stuff. And 10 or 15 years ago, I'd have said, yeah. But now I think the problem is people. I think the good thing about Americans is we're crazy and we are creative and we don't do shit. We don't like people to tell us to do anything. And I think that helps us. Can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Did you hear my answer to your question?
Yes, we heard it, but he wants to do one more question. It's about the one trait in each breed that you would change.
What the heck?
We're here. We see you. Can you hear us? Can you hear us? I can hear you. I think he doesn't see us. He doesn't see us.
I think there's a thing that affects both breeds that we don't see as much, that has to do with consistency. And the bully dogs, it seems like to me, I could be wrong because I don't know everything about them, but it seems like people pick studs and breedings for that one generation shot. Either they sell their puppies for more money or they think they're going to get that look. But that's not always how breedings work. Two really good looking dogs produce shit. And one kind of average, less typey, super well structured bitch can be bred to a typier male and produce fire. So, and I just don't think anybody does those kind of breedings.
We see you now. He's back. He's not back anymore. I'm going to read, in the meantime, while he gets settled there, I'm going to read some of the questions, even though he's not here. Would you say the bully and Brazilian bull have the same temperament? Similar, but not the same. Lauren can answer you that. She's big in temperament.
I think that they both have pretty level temperaments, as far as I haven't really seen any that are just wildly aggressive or crazy. Some are definitely more hyper than others. I would say that my XLs and the XLs that I have seen definitely have a higher drive a lot of the times than the Brazilian bulls that we see. Although I do have Brazilian bulls that love the ball and want to go after it. Any kind of different little small prey and stuff. I do have dogs on both sides that like that, but I would definitely say the biggest difference that I see in them is that the XLs have more of a consistent hyper temperament. But they both have really excellent temperaments for families, for people. They love people. So I guess the biggest difference would just be hyperness.
Yeah, I agree with you. Although I have some of them that don't, they're just chill, you know?
Yeah, 100%. My XL female, I could take her anywhere and she's the best behaved dog. But the second that somebody touches her, her tail literally hits both of her sides, like wraps around, because she's so happy that somebody is touching her and loving her. And then we have some dogs that will just melt into your side because they're being touched. You know, it really is. I think it depends on the individuals themselves for sure.
Mob, can you hear us?
Yep, I can hear you.
Oh, great. Okay, he's here with us, you guys. I'm going to read a couple of more questions here. Archetype bullies in Australia. Mob, if you could outcross an XL to something, what would you use?
I'm a big bulldog fan, honestly. I think the bulldog style is when you close your eyes and look at the silhouette of what the American bully should be, you see similar traits, especially in what we lack as a breed, in your more extreme bulldog style dogs.
When you
And
say bulldog, you mean American bulldog?
yep, American bulldogs. I've seen a few oldies that I've like man, I'll breed to that dog for sure. Like so, not just the American bulldog, but the old English bulldog as well. Could add a lot to the XL bully.
Yes. Somebody asked, are you guys doing any dog giveaways? No. Why don't give away dogs? Because we select where our dogs go to. You know, giveaway of dogs is something very serious. Unless I have a pre-selected list of people and maybe do something for that group of people, yes. But I think that giving away a dog, that means that you as a breeder are not selecting where the dog is going. And at the end of the day, it's not just, you know, I don't accept if somebody wants to buy a dog from me, not because they have the money, they're going to take it. I'm going to have to screen it and make sure that it's a good fit for my dog too. He's right. They do need more consistency in both breeds. That's on for you. Question for Mob. Where do you see your vision? And that was going to be our next question. I'm happy that you asked him that. Game-changing kennels. Where do you see your vision for your camp in the next 5 years? What are the factors about your dogs you want people to recognize, stand out about the American Bully dog?
That's a great question, and I think the first part of that question is I'll say the biggest compliment that I've ever gotten as a breeder is someone saying that when they see people with my dogs that they recognize them as dogs from American Bully Mob. And I think that's the biggest compliment as a breeder that you can get. And the reason why I say that is because the first thing that I was taught from my mentors in the breeding community is that you find the look you want and you breed to that look because you want people to recognize that look. You look at kennels like Sin City. When you see Sin City dogs, you know they're Sin City dogs. So I think the main thing that's the main thing is I want to make sure that when a dog leaves my yard, it has that consistent look, and that's what we're going for right now. We're about 4 or 5 generations in, depending on the dogs, and we just want to keep getting better doing that by line breeding them back to the dogs that we currently have.
I'm looking at some pictures here and showing your Instagram. So everybody that didn't know Stacey, American Bully Mob, please take the opportunity right now to go to his page. American Bully Mob is this little green circle here, and this is his page. Support him. He's a great person and a great fancier of the XLs. Please support him and follow him on his social media, okay? We're looking at
I
the beautiful
appreciate that.
dogs.
Thank you.
Of course, of course. And well, we're almost at 2 hour mark. So I guess this has been an amazing evening with you. I'm so sorry that we had so many issues with.
I appreciate you guys for having me. Yeah, we literally as soon as we got on, man, the skies just opened up down here.
Yeah,
You
right.
can hear it in the background. I think I'm gonna go walk my property when we get off of here, because I know some trees came down, man. It got ugly for a second.
100%. So, Lauren and Vito, do you want to ask a last question or just say anything to Stacey before he leaves?
Go ahead, Lauren.
Tag. No, prayers for you. I hope that everything is good on your property.
I appreciate that.
Obviously for you and your family and the dogs, I hope that everything turns out okay. We could use some rain down here in Texas right now, I'll tell you that, but I don't know about the wild storms and stuff that happen over there. But for sure, it was awesome to have you, awesome to learn about you.
I appreciate you having me.
We're excited to meet you and get to show with you here in the next couple of months. It'll be a lot of fun. We have fun when we go to shows.
Absolutely.
Vito?
I was making a point before about they were talking about consistency, and like I said, I'm not an expert on American bullies or Brazilian bulls. I'm new to the breed, but I've noticed it seems like the breedings are kind of lined up different. Everything is geared towards the looks, and nobody seems to want to take a step or two to achieve certain things. So if you have a dog that's maybe not type E, doesn't have the bulliest look, but it's structured great and it has perfect, great angulation, great top line, great all those things, and you bred it in a certain way, I guess people don't sell puppies or something. I don't know. It seems like everything's a little more superficial, and I maybe it's because stud fees are higher. I don't know, but that can have a lot to do with consistency. There's when you're trying to improve things in a breed, because I spent 30 years, well, probably the last 25 years trying to correct a bunch of stuff in my American Bulldogs. And the breedings that were effective weren't, on paper or in pictures may not have been what attracted people, but the results did. The results changed. I used to have a saying, change the game. I'm a change the game breeder. And it came about because somebody was whipping shit on me on the internet about a breeding. I was talking about it, and I was doing an inbreeding father to daughter. I had a stud called Go Ballistic. He was a really good stud as far as he always produced really good pups or better puppies than him. And I had one of his daughters in this big, huge litter. I had two of his daughters that were less typey, and they kind of leaned more towards the standard type of the breed, which is a little more pitty or houndy. Anyway, so I thought, if I was to inbreed him, I wonder what it would be like to inbreed him to his daughter, but she's a totally different type. She's cleaner. She's more correct. And I posted it up on one of the big message boards. And of course, everybody's like, God, it's been done. That's been done, And they're talking about in American Bulldogs, they have the bully type and the standard type. And when you combine them, they call them hybrids, hybrid type. Well, that's not what I was doing. Type to type it was, but it's an inbreeding to his daughter. So anyway, I did that breeding and produced this litter that pretty much changed a lot of stuff. A lot better structure, a lot better movement. And even those dogs, when they were first puppies, I got so much crap because they tend to carry a lot of muscle like the Brazilians, but as puppies, they look like little scrawny, they look like they don't have any muscle at all. They don't have any fat. They don't have fat, wrinkly skin. But then the dog matured into something new and something that kind of changed the game for real. It upgraded the structure and movement on dogs and muscle, and pretty much notoriety of the dogs they produce. But my point is, it's not two super typey dogs. It was a dog, a female that wasn't that typey, but she was super, super correct. And I see that in I could see that benefit American bullies and Brazilians. Like Klaus's mom, you know, you've even commented she's ugly. Sometimes an ugly bitch produces the best pups. You know, it's just it's not always two typey dogs produce great dogs. Matter of fact, I would say there's a percentage when you got two typey dogs that produce problems that you get with typey dogs, like weak pasterns or crooked front ends or bad angulation or high rear ends, stuff like that. But anyway, that's my little rant. I just was popped in my head.
Thanks, Vito. No, it makes sense. It makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense, for sure.
And Marathon Kennels, shout out to John, Marathon Kennels. Most are breeding for profit, Vito, not for progress these days. We have to just try to focus, I think, on the ones that are breeding, like doing consistent work with a vision, with an objective, because unfortunately you are right. And when Stacey was talking about consistency, and now Vito talking about correcting things, and the dogs are not as extreme and as wow factor because that's what sells, that reflects exactly what you're saying, John, because it's the reflection of going for the hype of what sells. So if what sells is the big muscles, people are going to go for it. If it's the merles, it's, you know, that's the tendency. But a good breeder, and it's okay to use, it's, you know, it's business wise to use good trends, but to do right for the breed, if it's something within the limits of accepting. For example, we get the Brazilian bulls. I am a passionate. I've always been a passionate for structure. And when I started working with the Brazilian bulls, I had a hard time, like looking at them. Just looking at them hurt my eyes. You know, I had some really bad flaws. Even my boy Klaus, he has structural flaws. And for me to look at 2 generations later and see a Sultan coming from Shake that is also not a perfect dog, but my vision had a little, you know, this is why I've been doing this for some time. And I, you know, I think luck is also a factor, because sometimes you know everything. You know your dogs, you know your genetics for generations. You put them together, you think there's going to be something and there's nothing. But I think the goal is, if you can have the best of both worlds without forgetting the most important thing is breeding for the standard and breeding for health and temperament. And then you have the whole package.
Very well said.
Bob, I know you're tired. We're going to let you go. But thank you again for being here with us. You're always welcome to come back anytime.
I appreciate y'all for having me, for sure.
You know, the Samba family is always, we'll always welcome you when you want to come here and talk about any type of topic. We're happy to. And if you do go Brazilian, if you do a Brazilian program that I think you will do, or at least, you know, a breeding or two, come back to tell us what it is, okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
I appreciate you guys for having me, man. I can't wait to see you guys in Columbus and in Alabama and D-Town, and I'm sure we'll have some great conversations going forward.
Yes, absolutely. And it's all love. We're here. We love both breeds, and we support both breeds. We breed. We have both of them. Lauren has both. Tony and Didi has both. And we're going to be there with our XLs and with our Brazilian bulls. Absolutely. Love you guys. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next Thursday. And thank you again, Stacey. Shout out to American Bully Mob for everything that he's done for the community. Bye, guys.
All right.
Where's my music? I have to finish the live with music. People ask me for that. There.
The text. We built this from the mud. No talk. Our results. Yeah. We from the yard where the champs don't sleep. Bloodline real, the roots run deep. The powerhouse Klaus, all muscle and tone. Champion tractor for perfection shown. She's that chocolate color perfection. But Ghana's got that smooth connection. She, the world legend. Shine so bright, now the future's lit, we taking flight. Summer cannons, we don't play around. Brazil to the States, we shut it down. Drip too clean, our booze too loud. Talk that talk, we made the crowd proud. Summer, summer talk. Summer, summer talk. Summer, summer talk. Talk that talk, we made the crowd proud. Brazilian bulls, yeah, that's the wave. Stacking winners, we breed brave. Every dog solid, head to the bone. Ain't no copy, this line I own. From the block to the ring, we bring that heat